Done is complete. Project not complete. Not the same thing. Promise returns and go build something. How much X is Bitcoin up now? 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am. 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am. Well, it was fucking designed. Listen, you stupid fucks, everything else is up higher. Bitcoin did 2 million X, $1,500 fucking dollars. 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am. 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am. Idiots could flap their lips. It did 2 million X in 2017. It fucking did. They're smart enough to notice that. Can't edit this in blockchain. 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am. 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am. Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am.
And we are live. Hello, Hexicans. Hello, Aussies. Hello, the world. Hello, everyone who's watching, tuning in. This is the Aussie Unrekt Cruise Hex Show. Man, I love that video. We've got to start making some more dance videos, guys. We've got to really bump up our game with the dance videos. I think everyone needs to be on camera dancing a bit more, man. That was a classic. That was beautiful. Yeah, we've got a few Hexicans in the back here. We're gonna, without too much further ado, let me introduce to you the Princess of Sin. The queen of awesomeness, Hexican Zone, Sammy Chica.
Hello, how you going?
Are you going, Sammy Chica, all right?
Good, I'm really good, thanks, on this Sunday afternoon. Bit cold here in Melbourne, but, you know, winter's coming.
Yep. Melbourne is a shocker for the cold chill to the bone.
How's it up there, Bluey?
Yeah, it's bloody hot up here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we got also straight from the hills. He's the T-Bird, builds houses with his own hands. He's come on to, today. Thank you very much. And everyone give a round T-Bird.
Hey.
What's going on, guys? Good to see you.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
how you
good.
T-Bird, okay?
Yeah, great to be here, doing well. Sun is shining. Can't believe seeing the price action of Hex over the last week or so is just blowing my mind.
Pretty exciting,
blowing my mind.
Isn't it?
I've made some personal milestones in terms of my Hex balance now over the last sort of couple of weeks.
Nice,
which is really cool, and it's only just getting started. I mean, the sort of gains that are coming is just like nothing. Like we think it's a lot now, it's nothing compared to what's coming in the future.
Yeah, totally agree, man. Like. Everyone who's watching this right now, or even if you're watching it like a year from now, this is, I mean, if you happen to be watching it a year from now, like you'll still be early. This is all early, guys. Crypto's taken over. There's nowhere else to put your money. What are you going to do? Put it in a bank? Don't think so. You're going to put it in stocks? Like, I don't think so. You're going to just like hold it in cash, let it just devalue in price. You know, it's like everyone's just starting to realize it. You know, get your crypto before everything kind of just like they print, you know, our fiat to oblivion. And it's just a kind of a no-brainer now. And there's going to be dips and there's going to be all that kind of stuff, but the trajectory is just going to be straight up. And, you know, I was listening to another video, a guy talk about like how quickly things can change. Like he said, and he's witnessed it twice. He's seen it. He was in Greece and he was also in Cyprus. And he said you literally go to bed on Friday night and you wake up in the morning and you go out to have, you know, your coffee at the local cafe and you see everyone whispering and talking to each other and you go, what's going on? And it's like they've just taken all of our money out. They've just claimed all of our money from the banks. I think in Cyprus they took a third of their accounts. I don't know what happened in Greece, but you know, guys, if you're out there and you've got all these you've got money in the banks, like I think Australia,
it's not safe. It's just not safe leaving your money in the bank at all.
Yeah, what is it? I think we're insured for like 200 grand in our Aussie banks. I don't know, man. Like,
what are they insuring? Fiat, you know? What the fuck is fiat, you know?
Yeah.
It's really sad, actually, when, you know, people's life savings just get taken away. Like, what right have they got to do that to people, really?
Did you see that other article that Richard Hart posted this week? It was in America, in the US, they came in and just like raided everyone's deposit boxes and took everything out. And they said you can claim it. You can apply to make a claim for it. So don't leave your stuff in deposit boxes either. Like, you're just going to have to take responsibility for your own crypto. Get a hardware wallet. Start to learn how to use it. It's scary at first, but once you start doing it, it's before you know it, you'll be explaining to other people what you're doing.
And you got to take the time to learn how to learning OPSEC and learning how to understanding how security works in crypto. That's one of the biggest learning curves. I've been hacked in the past, you know, as a part of the learning process, unfortunately. But
what happened?
But at the end of the day, you know, people don't have to go through those experiences to learn how it works. So,
well, I've fallen for a couple of scams as well early on. It was a while ago now, but like, what happened to you with the hack?
Oh, this is before I found Hex back in sort of August, September last year, when I was just getting my beak wet with crypto. And a support team, the so-called official support team of Trust Wallet. I got put in contact with them, and you know, when you're naive in the crypto space and you actually think these support teams are actually legit, and I was socially engineered, and then when basically got lured into putting my seed words into a website that I wasn't familiar with. This was before I understood how all the security worked in crypto. And it was actually, and then it clicked. Like, after I did it, like 5-10 seconds later, I'm like, fuck, what did I just do? Yeah, and I was crying for a couple of days, but damage was minimal, which I was lucky, you know, so it could have been a lot worse.
Tell you what, that's the number one way that people get hacked, because people social engineering them. And they're cunning guys. They're cunning people.
Yeah,
like,
and the phishing attacks are getting more sophisticated as well.
Yeah, they just don't care. They have no shame. They target anyone, anything, and then they admit it. You know, just no shame. Just filthy animals, really. No self-respect.
Yeah, and they're just amazing at like getting you to do behaviors, and even when your rational mind is kind of telling you something in the back, they can, if they're really good, they can kind of get you to sort of do it anyway. Like the time, I mean, this is not crypto related, but I was in India once and I was really sick and I was just going through and I saw one of those Ayurvedic kind of guys and he had like loads of different powders and all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And he was like, come in and just, you know, and I was like, okay, I'll see how I go. And I walked out of there like $200, like Aussie $200 down, which in India at that time was like just a lot of money. And, you know, like, he was just so good at, like, I even at the time I realized he was like he was sucking me in, and he was like getting me to overpay, you know, by a lot and everything like that. But the way he just like got me to do it, you know what I mean? Through the guilt,
Yeah,
but look
they
what
can be
other people
very,
have done, you know, and it's just like, oh,
they can
so
be very, they can be very crafty.
yeah. So just
Yeah.
be really careful, you know, never give your seed words to any website whatsoever. And yeah, be safe. Talk to other people about, you know, I mean, it's a really hard one if you kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to put in a safety deposit box. Where am I going to put these seed words where I will be able to access them, and if I die, my loved ones will be able to access them and know what to do. But also, I don't want them to be too accessible, and it's a really tricky one, you know, and everyone is gonna have to find their own methods for doing that, depending on your living situation, you know. And if you're a traveler who just travels around heaps, it's tricky because you don't want to have them on you. You know what I mean? Like you want to have it in a place where it's like all safe and securely tucked away. But if something ever does happen, that you can get access to it. You know, passphrases is a really good one to use. The Trezor Model T, you can put like passphrases.
Yeah, I was in the PulseChain voice chat a day or two ago, and I was having this exact conversation with Papa B, and Papa B was giving the whole sort of rundown on how good, like he was talking up Trezor, even more so than Ledger as a means of a security apparatus for Hex and Hex stakes and whatnot. So yeah, I've just gone and bought myself a Trezor from the Trezor website, and
Yeah, the Trezor T, the Trezor Model T. Like
no, he said it doesn't have to be the T. The Model 1 is
yeah,
also
that's a bloody good one. I've been using it, and I've been onboarding like crazy this week, guys, because like Jeff's offered me a job and through his company, and I've just been going nuts onboarding people, and so I've been taking them all through all of this kind of stuff and explaining about Hex, explaining about Pulse, about everything, just like onboarding like 8 people a day or something, just going super hard, and like I would highly recommend the Trezor Model T. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you going to get yourself a hardware wallet yet?
Yeah. So Sammy, go ahead.
Is that the one you put in our group chat when I was asking about the Trezor?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one. I'm going to get one over the next couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, do yourself a favor for sure. You know.
Yeah,
like,
I've got a Ledger Nano X, not the S. I've found that it's been okay, but it's got more attack surface than the S because it relies on the Bluetooth aspect, like the Bluetooth connectivity with the app on the smartphone.
Don't.
So I only realized that later, that it was not as good as the S. But anyway, I've got one of the more recent technologies from Bitfi, but unfortunately it's not supportive of Hex yet. But once it is, I reckon a lot of people are going to start flocking to Bitfi's hardware wallet, which is really cool. But in the meantime, until Bitfi becomes compatible for Hex, I'm going to be using Trezor, either Model T or Model 1.
Right. I never heard of Bitfi. What's that? Is that they got a hardware wallet?
Yeah. It's got far less attack surface than any hardware wallet that in existence currently. It's got a different structure to it completely. The website is bitfi.com. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, cool. And you know, just asking Hex security. There's a lot of knowledge in that chat, in the Telegram chat. And we'll just say hi to a few people have all tuned in. I just noticed there was a chat all happening. Hi guys. Hey Zappa, love you Zappa. Balliet Brown, always good to see you. Benny Blitz, Joe Exotic, Crypto Orange. Don't think I've seen you before. Maybe I have. And JFK, how you going, bro? Yeah, who else? Who else is here? Nas Hex, how you going? And Day 43. Having some good chats with him lately. Yeah, so did you say you had some questions, Sammy, about some stuff that's going on at the moment?
Yeah. So I've been enjoying my mad gains this week and swiping my staker like a mofo every day, every 5 minutes. And oh my god, But yeah, just a couple of questions about the Pulse, because obviously you've got a lot of time. You've looked into it way more. I work full time, so I haven't got that time. So I wanted to ask, so the sacrifice stage is obviously coming soon. We're waiting for an announcement from Richard, and he's a busy man, so he will make one, I suppose, over the next week. So when we're sacrificing our crypto, it's based on USD value, correct?
That's correct.
And is that of a 30-minute? So just say I put one Bitcoin worth, I don't know, $40,000 or whatever. Is it like a half an hour window? So when I put that into the sacrifice, is that $40,000? They take that as, or do they wait until when the Pulse changeover, when it might go fluctuate? Like, how are they getting the US dollar value from the crypto that you're sacrificing?
It's the well. Oh, what happened to T-Bird? Maybe lost him. He's in the hills. Oh, he's back on. Is he? Yeah. Hey, T-Bird. Yeah. So, basically, we haven't got the exact details of that. We're waiting for the announcement, but it looks like what he's thinking about doing is taking the average price at the time that around the time that you sacrifice within 30 minutes, that US dollar price. And yeah, it's pretty just simple. And it might be worth putting in earlier at the sacrifice period and getting a little bit of a bonus, or it might be worth waiting to the end. And if Hex moons during that time, or if whatever you're about to sacrifice moons by the end of that period, and it's worth a lot more in US dollar values, then you will get more. And so we don't know all of the details of how much of a benefit it is to do it early rather than later. In the end, you're probably going to be best off just doing like a dollar cost average thing where you do it once a week for the 4 weeks, and just you're going to have to be a bit lucky in terms of what the US dollar value is when you sacrifice. Like you can sit there watching the charts if you want, watch the 10-minute chart, or whatever, and see if it goes up a bit and then quickly sacrifice. I think it will probably also be beneficial to just sacrifice from one address, because that means that everything will be accumulated to that address, and there is a bit of a bonus for the amount you do. But we still don't know all of those details. He could release it. He could announce the sacrifice this week, or he could just do it in 2 weeks or 3. We don't know. Like, get ready, but we don't know when it'll be. And he's the kind of person he's a perfectionist. He's not going to do it until it's ready.
Yeah,
and I also think that Richard is going to take into account the Vegas meetup in terms of the time frame, because he won't want the sacrifice. Probably, this is just my guess, that he won't want it to interfere with everything that's happening around that time. He'll probably want the sacrifice to end before that all kicks off, so that the Hexicans aren't going to be sort of.
Well, maybe. I mean, that means he'd probably have to do it in the next week at least, hey? And then Vegas, and our Aussie meetup as well is in 24th of June, and I'm so happy I remembered, because everyone who's watching, if you're in Australia, like we've got I keep forgetting to announce it. Remind people we've got an Aussie Hex meetup. We're doing it's around that 24th of June time, and we're going to meet up in Nimbin, in T-Bird's neck of the woods, for the Thursday night, and then we're going to go to Brizzy for the Friday night, and then we're going to do 2 nights at Stradbroke Island. Just going to catch a ferry over and do Stradbroke Island. So any Aussie Hexicans, let's go and meet up, hang out. We can talk. Like, we've known each other just through all these kind of virtual Twitters and all of that kind of stuff, but it's going to be amazing to actually meet each other in the flesh and just chew our chins off or whatever. And it'd be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's happening in like a month, less than a month and a half. So make sure you have a little bit of liquid hex there. You might need to cash in for, or save up in fiat, even better. And it's really cheap flights in Oz at the moment. So get onto that. I think that like a few people are going to organize to people who are coming from outside, like me, will kind of fly into what is it? Is it Coolangatta? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Or you could even fly to Ballina as well. You've got the option of Ballina.
Yeah, that'd be more. That's always more expensive. But Coolangatta is only like an hour and a half away, isn't it, or 2 hours away or something? Yeah.
Yeah. It's about just over an hour.
So we can all just like get there. If there's enough space in cars, we can all just like drive down to Nimbin together. Or there's also a shuttle bus you just jump into, or you can hire a limo if you've really done well in your thing, and your hex stuff. And yeah, it'd be really fun times. I think it's a bit of a different meetup from Las Vegas, hey? Doing Nimbin, Brizzy, and then Stradbroke Island. I think it's a nice mixture of things, and we'll organise some stuff for just if you're just in Brisbane and you just want to come along on the one night, you can do that. If you want to catch a ferry over with us, you can do that for the couple of nights. It's all pretty. It's not too expensive. All of those things, and just highly recommend people to come over. Into the fire. Good to see you, mate.
Hey, Bluey, I got another question. Excuse me. It was going to be the question that you said before. So I've got one MetaMask address. I'm going to sacrifice 1 Bitcoin the first day, and then a few days later I'm going to sacrifice some Chainlink, and then a few days later I'm going to sacrifice Ethereum. So all those are tied to my one wallet. So that puts me in a
Bitcoin won't be unless you wrap it and send it to the address that you're sacrificing from. I think. Look, we don't know those kind of details yet, so just sit back and wait for the announcement. Once he announces, he'll announce how it's all done. We'll dig into it all, like tons of live streams, people questioning, people kind of like getting all ready and stuff like that, and we'll have plenty of time to work out that the optimal kind of plays.
This is not financial advice, but based on what a lot of the OG Hexicans have been saying that I've been listening to is, the ideal play is to convert all your ERC20 tokens, or even Bitcoin, into liquid hex before the sacrifice, because it gives the opportunity for the hex price to pump the price and to increase in value leading up to the sacrifice phase.
Good idea.
And then once the hex liquid is sacrificed, that's a whole heap of liquid that's off that's gone. It's off.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to do that. A lot of people looks like they're going to do that, and we've seen a big pump. And OG, we've got OG in the house.
Hey,
What's up, guys?
how you going, bro?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah,
What's up, T-Bird?
What's going
I think
on?
you got echo, mate. You just turn off the.
Have I got echo? I'm just using my phone. I've got no headphones or anything. Are you still getting an echo?
Yeah, it's good now. No, I can hear myself when I talk.
Oh man, should I jump out and get a headset? You reckon?
Yeah, get it because it's really hard to talk when I hear myself.
I'll do that.
Cool. Actually, I just want to go over why. I've been listening to in the Pulse chat, like people giving descriptions of why it's called a sacrifice to people coming in new for the first time, and they're kind of very convoluted and long and kind of like. Look, because I've been onboarding so many people, I've kind of got it nailed down as to why we're sacrificing, and maybe hopefully people can use this. I think there are 3 main reasons we're making that it's called a sacrifice. One is for tax purposes, so that it's considered a tax loss at the time that you sacrifice. Later, when you get the coin at next to 0, and then when you wait and at any time you change it, that will be the capital gain. But when you actually sacrifice, it'll be a capital loss. And so also there's that it's not a security, considered a security by the SEC. He's like really going above and beyond in terms of doing it by the letter of the law. It's going to fail that Howey test because it really is a sacrifice. Like we'll sacrifice during that period, and during that period,
you're essentially sacrificing something of value for something of no value, or close to no value.
Exactly, because we won't even have the details of all of the details of the chain, and then we also won't know the release date. Like we might have the sacrifice period, and we think it's going to be about a month or 2 until it gets released, and it might be 6 months because it's software development, and those guys like have to keep working on and make it perfect before they release it. So also keep that in mind. Like when you do make the sacrifice, we may not know when the actual poll is when the chain is going to be launched.
No expectations of the work from others.
Yeah, and the third reason, which I think is the most important reason, is that he's going to have these, like instead of thousands of miners securing the network, he's just going to have a handful of validators. And he needs those validators, he needs competition to get into those validator slots, right? So that if a validator gets taken down or goes offline, there's always somebody in there to fill it. If a government tells a validator,
so what the right numbers? What about 21 or 33 or?
Yeah, he's mentioned both of those numbers, and so we'll see what happens. But see, he's got to give the coin value because it's going to be low fees, and it is going to be zero inflation on the coin, and it's going to be fee burning. So it's going to be a matter of like the network effect. How many people are using the network, and the more people that use the network,
once launches, then it's just, the market will decide where the value of it goes.
Exactly. And so he needs to give the coin value. And in order to give value, he has to get people who are partaking in the distribution of it. He has to give them, they have to sacrifice something real. And that's why the sacrifice is in terms of US dollars, so that we will value it. So if I give up my whatever amount of coin for US dollars, and then I wait and then it's finally released, I'm not just going to dump it down. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to wait because this is a long-term play.
Yeah.
I think. And I mean, maybe it will go exponential if loads of people use the network and there's speculative value on it, but it's not by any means guaranteed, and it may take a while for the use to come in. Maybe it'll be exponential, maybe it'll be slower and then exponential. It's very difficult to know at this stage. Yeah. T-Bird's out again. So yeah, those three reasons. I think we can really nut it down to those three reasons: the tax purposes, that it's SEC, so it's done by the letter of the law, and to give the actual Pulse coin value. And it's interesting, when new people come in, and sometimes they ask a very simple question, but they get these long-winded, obtuse answers like, well, it's a sacrifice. If you go and sacrifice, money to buy a car, then it's a da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, I think we can get a little bit more succinct in our answers sometimes. Now we got T-Bird coming back on and OG43 with the headset.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry.
How are we going?
Sorry about guys.
Good, mate.
Connectivity issues.
Is that better or still?
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is weird. Okay. Yeah, I thought I'd jump on for a minute, guys. I saw you guys talking about hardware wallets, and I'm like, hang on a second, I got to jump in on this. 5 minutes. I put the family on hold. I told my wife, I'm like, wait 1 second, just you look after the crying baby and the other kids. I got some important stuff to talk about with the guys. So you guys are talking about Trezor, the Trezor T, the Model 1. I would say stay away from the Model 1 because there's too much stuff you have to do on the computer. And that you don't want to do that with a hardware wallet. You want to be doing it all off on the hardware wallet. So the Model T is the one to go if you're going to go with Trezor. The one thing I'd say about the Trezor is it's great. The interface is so much better than Ledger. The one thing I'd say about the Trezor T is if you're migrating from migrating across from MetaMask over, maybe, just maybe, the Ledger, there's pros and cons of everything. Maybe the Ledger is a little bit more secure because that's got a secure element in it, right? And the Trezor T doesn't. However, if you've got a passphrase, then that sort of makes up for it, right? So the problem is when you started up a wallet with MetaMask, you didn't put a passphrase on it. There's no option to. So you're just sort of stuck with this non-passphrase protected seed phrase or wallet. And if you're going to bring it over to the Trezor T, if you really want to secure it, you sort of have to come up with this. You need to get the SD card, and you have to use the command line to create like a pin, like a special SD card pin. It's like this, and that's going to the nth degree, right? That's so if someone like found the actual device itself, because there is this attack vector with the Trezor T. If someone, and it's not everyone who could execute upon this, right? If you got your hands on the Trezor, if someone who knew how to do it got their hands on the Trezor T, and it's not passphrase protected, and it doesn't have that SD card SIM, there is a way to ascertain what the seed phrase is, right? But it's a very sort of narrow vector. So and me and Jexa like go back and forth, you know, on the ledger and the Trezor. I really like the Trezor. I love the Trezor. Much more usable than the ledger. I mean, if you've ever tried to put restore a 24-word seed phrase onto the ledger, it's a nightmare, man. It is an absolute nightmare doing that. And then if you make a mistake, it's like, no. So I just wanted to jump in and say that. The other thing I wanted to say is Crypto Grandma got hacked a couple of weeks ago, right? Yeah. And I just wanted to say this. We are like, we're putting the call out. If anyone can spare like a little bit of ETH, you know, if you've got some scraps or anything that you could spare for Crypto Grandma, that would be awesome. We're going to put I'll
put it up in the chat now. I'll put the address in the chat now. Why don't you go? Yep. Why don't you tell the whole story of what happened, OG?
Well, I'll be very brief with it. Basically, it was social engineering, basically, and she believed that she was speaking to someone who was legitimate from a bank who was helping her, and in actual fact, it was someone who was pretending to be from the fraud department at a bank, and they were very, very convincing. They spoofed the fraud number, which means that they called from a number but pretended they were calling from the fraud number, which is, you know, you're getting to a higher level of sophistication. It's not just like your Nigerian, you know, we used to get faxes back in the day, like, you know, 15, 20 years ago, with a letter from like the Nigerian prince who just needed somewhere to deposit his funds, and they needed our bank account. So look, this was a very high level, and honestly, if you haven't like read a book like The Art of Deception by Kevin Mitnick, if you haven't read a book like that and have like gone through all the possibilities, you're not even thinking that all this stuff, like how easy it is just to fall for it. And, you know, I got very paranoid after reading that book, and I stopped answering my phone with my name after that, like to that point. It's like, I don't want like some scammer who's calling me to even know my name when I answer the phone. So, yeah, look, she basically thought that the person that was helping her was a legit person, and that just led to, you know, it just led to her making a decision which was, you know, ended up in her losing pretty much all of her funds.
So she gave her seeds to she put it in a website, or they got her to
No. She did it herself, but she thought they were helping her, like on a Zoom call or something. And look, to be honest with you, I don't have like the precise chain of events of what happened. It's like, all I know is that she thought the person was legit and helping her, and the guy spent a lot of time on the phone, was like, you know, and it just, you know, it turned out like this. So what we're doing is we're trying to help Crypto Grandma, like, at least have something for the Pulse launch. Yeah, so if Blue Bum, if you've listed that address, look, guys, you know, if you've got anything to spare, even if it's just, you know, $10 or $20 worth, it would be much appreciated, because once we're sending her a laptop, brand new laptop. Once she gets that and she's set up with a new wallet, then we'll transfer all of those funds across, and you guys can all keep an eye on it. It's gonna, obviously we're not trying to.
You and David are setting her up with a new laptop.
Well, we're gonna, David's gonna help her if she needs help with like the security side of things. Jexa is gonna help set up the. Jexa is gonna help set up the. He's offered to help set up the hardware wallet on a call with her. She can't trust that laptop she's got anymore, mate. She cannot trust that laptop.
Did they get her? Yeah, right. Did they get her to install software on it or something like that? Or
Oh yeah. And it was very old. She was running Windows 7.
right.
So you need security updates. So this one's gonna be like, it's gonna have a bit, it's gonna be future proof for at least for a while. It'll be future proof. I think it's gonna have maybe 16. It has got 16 gig of RAM. I posted the picture of the thing in the chat, so you guys
Maybe
will see
set
it.
her up with the Trezor as well. Hey.
I think she's already got a hardware wallet actually. So
So she was using a hardware wallet.
no, she wasn't.
Oh.
She wanted to get it across
Ah.
to a hardware wallet, and but anyway, look, I don't really want to put like lots of details out there about it, because it's sort of.
It is good to know though. Like if someone has been scammed, it is good to know the exact details of how they did it, and having that information public so that people can know to be careful against
what you need to be careful of is that seed phrase is just, you never share that with anyone. It's simple as that. And you never type it into a computer. That's me personally. I would never type a seed phrase into a computer that has, like, not even that I've switched the internet off on. If I've switched the internet off on the computer, that's not enough. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got a device which does not have a network adapter that I use to generate any new seeds that I want to make, right? It's just like a little Raspberry Pi type device, and it's got like Linux on it. It's got like a Raspberry Pi OS on it, and I use that, and I type in seed phrases into that, because it doesn't even have a network adapter, right? There's no way it can be connected to.
Yeah, but that's going a bit. That's good. That's obviously going a bit above and beyond for the most people. Like you can't.
Most people should just like use the device itself to generate the seed.
Like the
right?
Trezor or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just do it using that device, and as long as you trust that device can generate a good seed, then yeah, it just depends what levels, and the level you put into this, the level of the degree to which you go depends on the amount of funds that you have mixed up in the whole thing, right? And we're in a really difficult position with what we're in, because we're tied to our address and the private key for that address. So, and that's a little bit. I would say Staker app is pretty damn safe. I would say. That's what I would say.
Have you guys got me?
Yeah. You're a bit breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit, but say something, T-Bird.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, cool.
Your screen's frozen, but we can hear you.
Yeah, look, guys, I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about that. So, if anyone wants to chip in something, if you can spare something, that would be great. Crypto Grandma would really appreciate it. And hopefully we can get her back on her feet, because she lost a. How's she
handling it? Like I know that she was in denial for a little bit. How's she handling it now?
I think she's understood that what has happened, because it was so damn convincing. It was so damn convincing. Like, they called her from a number that she's called before, right? She's called this number before, and then she gets a call from this number and they're spoofing it. Right? It's not actually coming from that number, but it looks like it's coming from that number on the phone.
It's sophisticated, and a lot of them are doing that now. I've seen myself receive calls from, people, but my phone says suspected spam, and so I just decline it. Day 43, I was just wondering, did you direct message RG3 and tell him to put this out to discourse, because obviously there's probably a lot more people that want to help as well.
Yeah, yep. I'll definitely message him. I did put it in the cutthroats, so hopefully he'll see it in there. But I don't want to make people feel like they have to do something or they're obliged to do anything.
Yeah,
it's like
I
if you've got a few like dollars that you can spare for I always think that a community should be judged by how it treats or how it looks after the people that need assistance. That's how I think a community should be judged. And looking back, I feel like Hex community is that community. That we care about each other, and we care about what happens. And Crypto Grandma's been around since the beginning, pretty much. And I just think that this is an opportunity for us to show what we're made of.
So how's she feeling about it, though? Is she kind of devastated, or is she just kind of like...
I think she's sort of, it was a slow realization. She at one point she was 50-50. It's like, oh, I just don't know what to believe. It's so convincing. And at one point I sort of stopped messaging her. I'm just like, I think she needs to realize what has happened. And then when because they were promising to send her money back and all this sort of stuff, and when that didn't happen, she sort of came to that realization. But it's I think it's one of those things we can all learn from. We can all learn from that, and just don't type your seed phrase into a computer that's connected to the internet. There's no need for it. Get a hardware wallet. That is
never trust anyone who calls you. It's pretty simple. Like if you get a call from anyone, just if you don't know them, even if they say they're the bank or whatever, just hang up. Don't even sorry, no banker's going to be calling you. I don't care what you do. Those people don't call you. You've got to bloody try to get in contact with them. So just don't, we on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I had the ATO call me, legit call me the ATO.
Oh, yeah, the ATO call you.
No, I had the legit ATO call me at one stage, and asked, they called me and they're like, oh, we're calling about, it was just something in particular, and then they wanted to identify me. I said to the lady on the phone, you are out of your mind if you think I'm going to tell you anything about myself over the phone. I don't know who you are, and I just hung up on it.
The ATO shouldn't be doing that.
No.
Because the Australian government put out warnings about that kind of stuff.
This was maybe a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And I called back. I know it was legit because I called back, the actual line, and I didn't speak to that person, but it was a legit call that was going out. And I said, you guys are crazy. What are you doing? You can't do that. Not in this day and age. That is no longer something you can do. You can't just call people and
ask
no, because what you're doing, it might be okay for you guys to do that, but what you're doing, in actual fact, is you are desensitizing the potential victim to being called from an institution, a government agency, and think that it's okay for them to ask questions. You're desensitizing them to that sort of behavior. And that is not the way, that's not the way a government agency should be operating.
Just don't answer calls from anyone you don't know. I don't give a shit if it's the Australian government calling you. Just don't answer it. You don't have to. They're going to have to find another way. They're going to have to send you a letter or, something like that, Just don't answer any calls, no matter how official they actually are,
Mm. Yeah, good.
Mm.
That's a good point. But hey, guys, I'm going to head off, okay? Good to see you all, and I'll speak to you soon, okay?
Yeah, cool.
See you, mate.
Cheers. See ya.
Cool, yeah. Well, that's a bit all scary and stuff, isn't it? But like it's good that we're all informed, and we know, and just be more.
And look, it doesn't matter how new you are in crypto or how much of it I've heard some horror stories of like proper veteran crypto people that have been socially engineered in way, like for example, like the USPS, United States Postal Service, sent out a text message to this guy in crypto, and said that he had a package that needed to be picked up, and you need to put in such. He basically just clicked on the message, and all his crypto was gone. Like shit like that.
Say it again. Sorry, I was just a little bit distracted then. So
this guy basically got a fake message, a phishing message, text message from the USPS, United States Postal Service, saying that he had some item or some package that needed to be delivered, and he needed to provide them with his contact details or whatever. And he basically said he just clicked on the message and just followed down the rabbit hole without necessarily giving that much information to them, and somehow his crypto in his wallet was gone.
Where was he storing his crypto?
I don't know.
I don't
know the full story.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is though,
basically the lesson is any text message, any sort of communication that you're getting from an unknown source, you just do not respond to it. You delete it straight away.
Yeah, just don't click on links, all those kind of things, eh? And the thing is that if you have been in the space for a long time and you're hearing about all of these kind of things, then you're in danger of just having a bit of hubris. So you think, oh, well, I'm not going to fall for that, But we also have plenty of times when people who know better it happens to them as well, because they've got that overconfidence.
Yeah.
So be careful, everyone. But don't live in fear as well. It's going to be all right. Like spread it out. Maybe spread it out a bit. Have a few Trezors around the place. Bury a couple. Like spread it around in different places and seeds all over the place. Like that's another way to kind of like bit of.
Yeah, that's what I love about the Hexican. That's what I love about the Hexican community, because there's so many smart people and also very generous people in the community that basically any query that you might have that it's related to security or related to anything associated with Hex or anything, you can pretty much get the answers you need without having to seek out any so-called official support team to get questions answered. Because we're all here to support each other. So
let's move off this topic, because we've done it to death. So what do you guys reckon? Do you reckon there's going to be bigger gains? I'll give a time frame. Let's say a 2-year period. What's going to be the biggest gains? If you just buy and hold Hex right now, if you buy and stake Hex right now, or if you sacrifice it all for Pulse. So at the end of 2023, we'll give a bit of extra time, 2.5 years. At the end of 2023, I think I did the maths right. Like, which do you think will have done better in terms of X's? Staked Hex, holding Hex, or Pulse?
So I reckon, so with Hex is going to do well, especially for those who got in early, right? And Pulse will do well as well, because a lot of us are going to get in early. So we're all going to be win-win. But obviously the market cap for Hex is a lot. There's a lot more money in that than Pulse. It's only early days for Pulse. So I would expect Hex to outperform Pulse. But as an investor, I think we'll all do extremely well, because we're going to get in early anyway. So it won't really make a difference.
But if it's a race, if it's a race for the most gains,
well, there's already
those three?
Well, there's already how much is it? 3.7 billion market cap in Hex. So that's had a head start.
I think ultimately Hex is the safer bet at the end of the day.
So stake coming out January, like December 31st or 30th. No, 31st. On 2023. Compared to the price of Pulse.
I've already written down my own
so-called quote-unquote prophecy / forecast for the price predictions for the future with Hex, I know 100%, like without a doubt, that Hex is going to be $10 by the end of 2023. So I get it's hard to say whether Pulse is going to outperform that, but at the end of the day, Hex is going to perpetually going to be sort of perceived as being its own niche in terms of its product market fit, whereas Pulse is going to be, you know, the user adoption infrastructure. It's hard to say, you know, which is going to be the better gamble in, you know, over the next couple of years, but I think they'll just both do very well.
Yeah, I kind of I thought that it was going to be, no, you stake Hex for long, that's going to be the apex predator of value. But then I was in the chat last night, and Nenad had a really good point, because if, like, at the moment, you know, Ethereum is pretty unusable. If people come over to Pulse in droves to claim their free, you know, tokens on that chain, and then they start using it, and then people start, when new projects start, they actually build on both chains because it's exactly the same contract. You just have to, like, put it on both of them. We could see Pulse just go absolutely exponential in terms of value, because not only do you have, because you have all of these other projects, and like Ethereum, they're all going to be buying Pulse to get their other tokens on the Pulse chain, and then added into that the speculative value, because the coin is going up and because it's so new and it's so cheap and it's in the early days. It could, like, I think it's a much more speculative play. Like, the staked Hex is that's solid, and it's going to eat up value like no one's business. But, like, we could be really surprised by how quickly Pulse goes up in value, like in the space of 2.5 years.
I think you're right, Louis.
Yeah,
I honestly
and,
think.
I think that's
You know, Richard does things really
go ahead,
well,
Sammy.
and I'm so excited about Pulse. It's going to kick ass, just like Hex is kicking ass. Did you guys see Mike Novogratz congratulate Richard last night on Twitter, our time last night?
Yeah.
Novogratz actually congratulated Richard on the chat, which is amazing, because I love Novo. He's awesome.
Really? Well, how come you love him?
Oh, he's one of my favorite guys in crypto, and he's really smart. And, you know, I used to watch his stuff, like, early when I first got into crypto. Plus, he follows me.
Nice.
Yeah, so him and Richard are like my two favorite crypto guys. So it was really nice to see them have a chat, and it was just so nice to see him congratulate Richard on his hard work, and, you know, it's paid off, and get some credit, you know.
Yeah, I found out, I had a look at my Twitter, because I've got nearly 1,000 followers, and I was like, whoa, how did that happen? And I was looking through some of the people who follow me, and Holland Cook follows me, and he's a journalist on Russia Today TV.
Oh, cool.
He's an American guy, but he's like a famous, like, news guy. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's really cool. I think.
Actually, you know what I watched I watched just recently. You know Chael Sonnen? Have you heard of him?
No.
He's Chael Sonnen's was an MMA fighter, and he's got a fantastic YouTube channel talking about MMA, and I watch everything that he does. And so he interviewed Jake Paul just a day or two ago, and they both started talking about cryptocurrencies. They're both into cryptocurrencies. So I reckon, like, at the Hexicans, we should target them. They'd be amazed to either get Jake Paul or Chael Sonnen, like, get them saying something about Hex or whatever, or just getting them to know about it. That would be massive eyeballs, like massive eyeballs, and the network effect of those eyeballs would be insane.
We could even get Novo on Discourse or Ladies Discourse.
Oh yeah, come on, yeah, sure, why not?
He's a blue collar, like a blue chip dude. His Galaxy's like big big company, you know, especially big crypto company. So if you're going to invite him, you basically got to have the goods to deliver, make him feel comfortable, and, you know, talk about something interesting with him. It'll be fun. Just going to grab a drink.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'd love to get, like, I was thinking, like, we could, like, even get an MMA fighter and, like, sponsor them. Imagine them just, like, shouting out about Hex after they've won a fight. That just one of those would be like, at least let's read that one again. I didn't read that properly.
I think funding
1 million Hex at $1 into sacrifice chamber. So $1 million. It doesn't work exactly like that, Gunter. Like it's gonna really depend on it's gonna really depend on how much US dollar value is in that. Like it's going to really depend on the whole total US dollar value of all the sacrifices. And, you know, there's that 99%. What is going to be how many Hex? I mean, how many Pulse? There's going to be like 1.15 trillion Pulse. So, you know, it'll be just shared out depending on, you know, the timing and how much and all of that kind of stuff. So it's hard to work out. You might even know when you're sacrificing how much Pulse you will get for the amount that you're sacrificing, because it'll be dependent on these other kind of things. Hey,
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen has never lost it. That's not true, Benny Blitz. You know that, mate. He's had a few losses.
Yeah.
He lost that amazing fight to Anderson Silva, where he was like just Chael was dominating him the whole match, and then just right at the end, Anderson Silva just threw up a leg triangle and just like had him. Yeah, got him. Yeah.
Hey, Bluey.
Hey guys, I've got to make a move. It was awesome to hang out with you guys. I'll be in and out, and I'll see you guys soon.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah.
See ya.
No worries, boy. No worries.
Hey, Bluey. So, do you know what sort of ratio to the US dollar we're talking about? So, you know, what is it? Is it how many coins to your $1? Like, if I'm putting $1, I'm sacrificing $1. Have you heard anything about the ratios?
Well, that's why we won't know, because what's going to happen is during the sacrifice period, everyone throws in their coins at different times and blah 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 blah. So everyone's got there'll be a total US dollar amount, and there's also the sacrifice to the Sense Foundation and whatever other charities he puts on there. So there'll be this total dollar value amount. So let's say it's like, you know, 20 million people sacrifice $20 million worth, right? Now the 99.9, because like 0.01% of Pulse is being given to Ethereum holders for free. So the other 99.9%, which is like, you know, I guess it's 1.1485 trillion dollars. Sorry, it's trillion Pulse, like over 1 trillion Pulse. So whatever a dollar of that, let's say there's 10 million of US dollar value in there, like that's going to get distributed. The people will get Pulse based on how much they put of that US dollar in there. So it'll be like shares. So if you put in 10% of the total sacrifice, you'll get 10% of that. Yeah. So we won't know. It'll depend on how much money people put in, and then we're going to get loads of Pulse, basically. And then there'll be all these people wanting to be validators, and so they will be trying to attract you to put in your Pulse to their. Well, they want you to delegate it towards them, and so they'll offer inducements like, we'll give you this much percentage of what we make, or, you know, we'll go 50-50 with you, or something like that. And then others will do things like at the moment there's a Telegram channel that has started up that want to start up a Hex DAO, and they want to set up their own validator. So
explain, Bluey, what's the Hex DAO, and is that spelled DAO as in DAO,
Yeah.
not DOW?
Yeah, that's a decentralized autonomous organization.
All right. And what is it though? But what is
It's a collection of people who want to, like, a decentralized collection. I mean, Hexicans are basically a DAO, but we haven't got any kind of order to it. Like where there's no, like a DAO is normally you put money towards it, and then they have, you know, people who just like that you can vote for certain things. Like people might put up proposals like, I want to advertise over here, and I think if we do this like this, and this is the plan. Another person might say, I want to set up, I think we should set up a validator, and we all put towards this and da 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 da. And then if certain things need money, you can vote for if things get passed. And if they get passed, like when you go into the DAO, you give some of your pulse towards a treasury. And so then you can, and in that way it becomes this organization. And normally it's through voting rights. And we see loads of DAOs, and often they print up their own token, and so that token has value, and then that goes onto the market, and there's all sorts of speculation. I'm thinking the Hex DAO maybe don't want to go that token route because they don't want to let, you know, the market speculation kind of affect the things that they're going to do. But it's it's very early stages, and it's just something that people are discussing and talking about. And I think they want to set up a validator. So I'm not sure how it'll work. It's like it's very complicated. It's very difficult to enforce rules, and you know, to get everyone like a lot of people are probably going to have to do work for that DAO to organize it, you know. And it's like, how do you pay them, or how do they get rewarded, or are they just doing it for free? And it's very difficult. But there's been, you know, DAOs have been really successful.
I thought I saw someone in chat saying they're going to make one.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's in the Telegram. There's a Telegram channel for it. I can tell you the name of the Telegram channel if you want to.
I think it was in Pulse or Hex.com. Oh, the Hex Telegram. I'm pretty sure, because I'm not in I don't go in the devs chats or anything.
It's, yeah, I'll tell you what it, I can't find it now. I think it's, you got to remember here it is, Hex Community DAO. There you go. I'll put the link in the chat if people want to suss it out, have a read of what's going on in there. How do I do that? Info. Yeah, all sorts of. It really is never a dull day, isn't it? Hey, in Hexland.
I know, and it's only going to be exciting. This week's going to be exciting, I think.
Yeah.
If Richard makes an announcement, but I think he must be really tired, because even the other night I saw his tweet. He said, I really want to live stream, but I'm just so tired, I need to sleep. So he's got to look after his own health as well. I mean, we all love crypto and we're all excited, but, you know, he's got to look after his own health and get his rest. And, you know, I mean, if it comes out next week, 4 weeks, it's going to come out, you know.
No, I think I also saw that Johnny Chaos wanted to take a break or whatever, and I think someone made a video saying, like, no, we don't need, you know, the Coinbase to come on. And I know that I had mixed feelings about that whole Coinbase campaign. I was like, yeah, it'd be great to have Hex on exchanges. It'll make my job easier, especially when I'm onboarding people. It's just like, just go buy it at this exchange, then send it to your Trezor. But, you know, rather than going through the whole swaps and all that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, I you know, like, I don't want to suck up to these exchanges. Like, if they want to buy it, they can. If they want to try to make their money doing that. But there's obviously a reason no one's picked up Hex yet, or not no one, but none of the main ones. And none in Australia, hey? You can't buy Hex in Australia through an exchange.
You can't, but I agree, Blue Bum. You know, like as Richard says, sucking middleman dick. Who wants to do it, right?
But yeah, by the same token, like with Johnny Chaos, like maybe he was like, he got a bit of, I don't know what happened, but like you should just go and do what you want to do, and that's fine. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to criticize you, that's fine as well, and you don't have to take it on. You know what I mean? Like, you just do what you want to do, and it's, you know, it's okay. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You know, like,
yeah, I agree. But you know what? Johnny was being productive in the community.
Exactly. Yeah, be productive and do your videos and do your whatever. And not everyone's going to agree on how to go about doing things. But it's like, and if you're tired of it, and you feel like if you're resentful because you feel like you're giving something and it's not being acknowledged, then like just take a step back and go, well, maybe I just need a break. And I think we should do things out of joy and love,
Yeah.
rather than out of like well, I'm doing this, and so that should be rewarded through social acknowledgement.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Blue Bum. But I think it was an intelligent idea of Johnny Chaos, and he had so much support. So he would have spent half of this week. Basically, he thanked everyone for their contribution, and he retweeted and he talked to people. So he's been on Twitter like probably for 48 hours if you added up all the hours. So he probably needs to take a step back. And you know what? He put time and effort into it. And if someone, I didn't see the tweet, but if someone rubbed him up the wrong way, which is what you're saying, I wouldn't take it nicely either for all my hard work and effort. So sometimes,
yeah, but I think you don't have I mean, you can feel how you want to feel, but I'm just here to tell you, but both you and him, it's just like, it's what do you want socially? If you're doing things to try to get social acknowledgement from everybody, you're gonna, it's never going to be enough. And it's just going to take one person to give you a bit of shit, and you're going to, all of a sudden that ruins your whole day and everything like that. Don't give those people the power.
I agree.
You do what you want to do, and you do it out of joy and love, and like whatever, how people take it is how they're going to take it. You know what I mean? And
I absolutely agree, Blue Bub. I agree with. I don't like sucking middleman dick, and you know what? Whenever you're in the public, either on Twitter or anywhere, you're going to get haters or people that don't agree with you, and it's how you approach it. And sometimes I feel like saying screw this, but I enjoy it too much. I enjoy the social interaction. That's what we're there for. But just when you don't feel appreciated, step back, because and maybe we should offer more support when people are feeling a bit like that.
Yeah, but then you get needy people kind of just fishing for more sort of support and social acknowledgement, and it's just like, guys, live your life. Like, it's, do what you want to do, and don't do it out of, if you're feeling resentment out of something, maybe just have a little bit of a think about why you feel resentment. Like, what am I looking here? Do I really need everyone to tell me I'm amazing? I would just suggest maybe you weren't doing it out of love, and you were doing it because you wanted some sort of reward. And we have layers of awareness about things, and everyone makes mistakes. God knows I've made shit tons of mistakes in my life, and you learn from them and stuff like that, and so I just want to, especially in this community where there are no expectations, it means if you do a lot of work for the community, don't expect a return as well. Do it out of love. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because you're getting something intrinsic of value out of it. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, like Gunter in there, there's a lot of, he's been getting awesome, feedback from all the stuff he's done. You know what I mean? And because when you go out and do just an absolute crap ton of work, you'll get that feedback. But don't depend on that feedback to do what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you want to do the work, do it, and just, you can give it freely. You know what I mean?
I agree, Blue One, but I really hope that Coinbase does, look at our videos and look at the time we've spent to all contribute. I contributed, and I know a lot of other Hexicans did. I think we got nearly 100, maybe even over 100.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing to see everyone's videos, and Mark, that video that Markable made of when he cut it all up. So all the people, and he did it in a really professional way. It was an amazing job of editing and everything. And it's a complete no-brainer though. Why on earth aren't they listing it? The only reason, it's a top 10 crypto. It's got this massive community of online support. It's like they must know.
But you know what? They know now.
Pardon?
They know. They will know now. They can't ignore.
Well, of course they do, and it's like, well, why wouldn't you just all the shit that you list? It's just like it's something else is going on. It's too dangerous or something, or they can't. It destroys their model, their economic model for how they make money. Because when people all start realizing how amazing Hex is, then they just don't. They get their money straight off the exchanges, and then exchanges make money out of people, margin trading and leverage and all that kind of stuff. And all these influencers, they make money by all the links and all of that kind of, blah, blah, blah. And Hex just demolishes all of that. It's just, you've got no reason to throw your money away. You just chuck it in. You don't care if the price goes up or down in the short or the midterm. You just care about your price when it comes out. And like over the long term, it's just been going up massively. So and then you're earning interest the whole time. So it's a technology that just stuffs them all up. And that's probably why they're not listing it. I'm guessing, because I've got no idea.
But I think we will see a change of heart. You know, it's just going to take time. I mean, even I spoke before about, you know, Mike Novogratz noticing Richard's chart and congratulate him. Like, it's good. It's like the big boys are starting to notice, you know, and I think it'll just come with time. As Richard said, you know, we're on early. Yeah, it's getting gate-kept, right? But it's good for us because we're getting it cheap. Things will change.
Yeah, totally. Look, I'm in two minds at the moment because I've been onboarding so many like mum and dads of Australia. Like it's really just your average person people who I've been onboarding, and I'm really like, I don't want it to pump too much. Like I want to get them all in first. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and then when it dipped out like last night, I was just a bit like, oh, like I know I'm fine, but like I'm just really hoping they don't freak out too much.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they see it go down to 4.2, and like I know a lot of them put in a lot of their hard-earned cash in there, and I was just going, oh, please don't panic. And I'm really happy that it went up again, and it's just a little lesson, a little crypto lesson. It is volatile.
That's
drop.
not on you. That's not on you, Bleebar. But just remember, I mean, even you could say that to them. Look, crypto is a highly volatile asset, and you know, you've been in it for a while. You have to have a certain stomach, like to handle like $20,000, $100,000 swings. I mean, really, if anything, like you guys, I'm like, you know. But I've got a friend in Australia who's also in crypto, and he texted me the other day, and he's like, I'm about to vomit. My portfolio's down like 300 grand. I'm like, you know, don't worry, hang in there, you'll be fine, just hold on. But it's stomach wrenching, and I don't know, maybe you got to make the people more aware that this is crypto and this is volatile, and you know, you can make it appealing because we want them to make mad gains like we did. Just maybe explain to them how volatile it is and how you have to have a stomach for it, really.
Yeah, totally. And the thing is that psychologically, the high of making a lot of paper money, like a lot of us are rich, but it's all paper money because we've got stakes out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the money on the app or whatever. So the high of getting those gains is fantastic, but the psychological low of feeling like you've just lost half your stack or whatever is way more psychologically intense.
For sure.
So just be aware that there's a difference there, you know what I mean? And then like after a while, especially if you're staked, you're just sitting back and you're just getting interest regardless. And you're just, oh yeah, it's gone up, oh yeah, it's gone down, whatever. You know, you're still getting your interest every day. And it's definitely a bit of a high when it goes up and you just go, whoa, I'm worth how much? But like,
I know.
Just know that it's the long term, and like, you know, within a year you should probably, you know, be fine. And even if not, like, you know, Ethereum, like when it was 2017, it was whatever it was, $2,000, and then it crashed down to, you know, 100 over the course of a year or whatever. And like, there's a lot of people who would have just been, oh, well, that's the end of that. You know what I mean? And now, you know, it's just been up to, you know, $4,000. Hey, we've got a surprise guest, everyone. He's come out for a bit of fun in the sun. He's got someone with him, a friend with him. Everyone, please give a big round of applause for Unrekt Pirate.
Hey.
There you go, man.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the beach.
Have a look at it.
Straight
off the postcard. Yeah, look at
That's
that.
Australia.
What's going on?
Yeah. Come on, you introduce.
Anya. Jimmy. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't even know who we're talking to. I'm just looking at from my phone at the moment. I've got no idea what he's saying or what's going on or hear any of the news or updates. I've got nothing other than beautiful day down on the water at the beach. So how's it all going? What's cracking?
Fantastic. You're doing exactly what people should be doing instead of worrying about the market. Just go to the beach, have a swim, with your friends, have a drink, just like chill out.
Exactly that. Sounds good to me. Like a plan.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, just lots of things. Just trying to keep like the what they say, the marshmallow and the rocky road, keeping them together, keeping them apart. Just managing bits and pieces. Been watching the numbers go up and down on Staker, and as far as Hex goes, I haven't been in any of the chats and watching any of the streams or anything like that. Just been busy, on the road. We're beautiful on Sunshine Coast, and I've been spending a bit of time up here, and and then back in the office, sort of trying to keep the wheels turning as far as business goes, and it's been amazing. Every day's a winner for us up here. You wake up to this sort of thing. It's great. I don't know what to say. It's like you can hear us okay and all that.
Okay, mate. You've got an echo on my talk, so it's kind of annoying to hear myself.
Okay.
And there's a lot of wind when you talk. Okay. The unrekt is. I can see myself in the wind. Oh, that's a bit different. Beautiful.
Oh, that looked nice, didn't it?
It did.
I was at the beach.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've got a lot of beach here in Australia, don't we?
We do, but ours are all cold down here right now.
Oh, Melbourne winters are tough, hey?
They are tough. It's cold, miserable. It's like Antarctica sometimes.
Chills the bone.
But it's come early, Blue Bum. It's come early this year, our winter.
It's only May. You're only in the middle of May. What's going on?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've had the coldest day in like so many years.
That's the thing, right? We're entering a solar minimum. It's just going to get colder and colder. Like all these people going on about the earth heating up, they don't know what they're talking about. It's the sun that heats the earth up. We're going into a solar minimum. Carbon dioxide makes plants greener. It's plant food. It's fine for the plants. There's so many things that are just like out of whack in the world, hey? And like Sapper said, we're going to have to, can't wait for our dollar so we can start giving it away. Mate, I've already thought about what I'm going to be doing with mine. I've got projects that are brewing in my brain. Things are brewing. We're going to do amazing stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool, Sonny.
Cheers, man.
It's a big place, Australia. It's beautiful to drive through. You can drive the whole way through it. It just goes for ever and ever and ever. And it's beautiful and rugged and mountainous and the red centre. Yeah, completely wrecked. Totally wrecked. Children of the Grave, you're a funny. I was about to say a funny CUNT. I suppose I can say you're a funny one, Children of the Grave. You seriously are, man. And Zapper, mate. Zapper and Children of the Grave. I think you're the funniest guys in crypto.
They are.
Oh, what does he say? I didn't even read it. I just put it up. We stumble from Ice Age to the next, and a whole lot of strange crap happens in between. Yep, that's life, isn't it? History, according to the Zapper. Mate, Zapper, I hope we do see you in the Aussie meetup. Like, I know you wanted to be anonymous and all that, but it'd be great to. Yeah, you go, Sammy. Go for it.
All right, I'll come back.
I'll hold the fort.
Cool.
Yeah, I know you like your anonymity, but it'd be great to meet, all the Aussie Hexicans and people who regulate the stream, or not regulate, who come on regularly. So yeah, anybody got any questions or stuff for me to answer? What else can we talk about? Fubar. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, wear a disguise, Zapper. That's yeah, come to the meetup and just in disguise. Not that we know what you look like anyway, but that'd be pretty funny. There's this strange dude in the corner who's just like an 8 foot tall, long haired, geeky looking 19-year-old. It turns out it's the Zapper. That's yeah, I've got a lot of birds here. We really need Richard to come out with info. Yeah, you know what? Just enjoy your life. Look what, unrekt was doing, going, and you can't wait around for announcements. We're starting to make the kind of gains where, people are going to be able to just like, we're going to be able to do whatever we want, and so go and do it. Don't spend all your time online, or waiting around for a Richard Hart. I mean, it is fun. I've got to say though, I'm loving the Hex community. It's super fun, and I'm really enjoying onboarding people at the moment as well. Like, it feels really beautiful to, share the knowledge. There's a lot of scared people out there about what's happening in the current financial situation, and they don't know where to put their money, and they seeing crypto doing well, and now they're just kind of dipping their toes in the water, and it's going to be really up to us to kind of go out and start helping out people, who just don't know what they're doing with crypto. Like all of you guys here watching the stream, you've got an amazing skill set and knowledge at the moment, and let's teach these fishermen how to fish. You know what I mean? Like, you teach someone how to do it properly, well, and then they'll, at first they're very uncomfortable with it, but then they get the hang of it, and then all of a sudden they can start teaching people. And that's how the network effect happens as well. Just like get people all comfortable with using crypto and comfortable with doing their own security and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm self-employed, and my boss is a bloody slave driver. you gotta fire your boss, Zapper.
Yeah, get rid of him, Zapper. He's a damn real bastard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great. I saw that. Devs on Pulse. They came up. They found a bug in Ethereum. They found some bug, so they're helping out. And what I mean. And I really think that that's the narrative that we want to go with forward. Like, if everyone in the world is going to get into crypto, we're going to need a lot more chains than Ethereum and Pulse and all of the other. Like ETC now, Ethereum Classic is making a bit of a comeback, and yeah, I'm not sure about that, but like we're going to need many more chains in the future. And I wouldn't be surprised if Richard does this successfully, like, we'll see the copycats. Like, if he does this successfully and airdrops the whole of the ERC20 stake to everyone, which he's going to do, like, people are going to copy him. And there's going to be people who get organized and do it in a proper way. And there's going to be people who just like copy it and like give all this free stuff to people and see what happens, But the future is multi-chain. We need many chains. We're going to need many chains. Pulse will fill up eventually. Pulse will be just the same as Ethereum eventually. Maybe it takes 5 years, maybe it takes 10 years, maybe it takes 20 years. Who knows? But it's, like there's a lot of people in the world. And it's like, and the trad financial system is collapsing. And so everyone's going to have crypto eventually. It's just a no-brainer when you see the value proposition and you can't have the rules changed on you. So it's just a time, isn't it?
It's the highest appreciating asset. You won't see anything on the stock market move like crypto, or property move like crypto. True?
Sorry, say it again?
You won't see any other investment move like crypto. So in like investment-wise, like stocks or property, it doesn't move anything like crypto moves. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's what history has shown, and pretty obviously, pretty astoundingly. So it's a real no-brainer. I mean, here in Australia, like, houses are like NFTs. Like, all the rich people, they invest in all of these houses because they don't know where to put their wealth, and so then the price of the houses go up and up and up. But you can't sell half a house or a tenth of a house. You just got to sell them in one, you know what I mean? So everyone in Australia, because the government incentivizes it as well, we store all of our wealth in housing, and which makes it unaffordable for people to get in. But we're going to see a massive change in in who has wealth in the world.
Mm.
Like as this grows, it's like bacteria that's just going to keep eating trad finance. I really think we're seeing the biggest transfer of wealth in human history, and it's very hard to even imagine how it all plays out and how that happens. But it's happening. It feels like it's happening, and I know that's all. I know you kind of like you got to be careful when you sort of say to yourself, "This time it's different." But
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, and when I first read about Bitcoin, I thought done and dusted. That's it. It's just a matter of time. And when it was that big run up came up in 2007, I said, "Oh well, people got the idea pretty quickly. It's just going to go up from here." But then it didn't. It took that 2-year dip, you know.
Yeah.
So it
But
did take a bit more time. So maybe it's not this time, but eventually that's where it goes.
yeah, but you know, crypto's $1 trillion market cap now, so that's some serious money in regards to total money of investment spread across the whole world. It's a lot of money we're dealing with. So I reckon it is different this time. You know, there's a lot more money in it, and we only stand to see more as soon as awareness is raised. And Blue, I was going to talk about. So I read something online that in future, like you were saying in Australia, you know, you can't sell a tenth of a house. So with cryptocurrency, eventually we will see like gang investors. So, you know, 10 people might chip in to buy a property. And this is all digital and own a share in that property. And you can sell that share in the property. So we'll probably see things like that come in the future, just like clothing stores. So you'll go into a clothing store and this store might have 50 items and what they might have a dress in every single size. But so you'll go into the shop and you'll try the dress on and you'll get your size, but you'll order it online and it'll come from the store, the warehouse to your home. So all you're doing is going in there and, you know, basically looking at what they've got. But everything's changing, everything's going digital.
Yeah, I know that's the narrative. But, you know, people still want to interact. People want to be social.
Absolutely.
They don't want to spend all day on... And if you go clothes shopping, like, yeah, it's nice to order stuff online sometimes because it's easier. But you want to go in and see it, and you want to go in and try it on, and you want to have interactions outside with people. And, like, that's just not going to... There's still going to be plenty of market for that, you know? And I don't think it's all going to be digital. I think maybe that's someone's wet dream, but I don't know.
I think it will, Bluey. Even with like Centrelink and all that, they had a 7-year plan, which I think they're in year 5 to put everything online. But the older people who do like their pensions and stuff, they can't do it all online. You know, they need to see a paper and have some assistance. But it's like people hide behind this online. There's not social interaction. Even dating is online. Like a lot of people date online now.
Yeah, but how successfully? How successfully?
It's very popular.
I guarantee you, if you want to go and meet someone to have sex with, or like to have a relationship with, or to have just a conversation with, like you're going to be far better off just going out and doing some sort of activity and meeting people. And if you see someone cute, go up and talk to them. You know, like you'll get that heart thing, but like you don't know if you're attracted to someone until they're in front of you. Like
I
I'm sorry, but you can meet people online, and then like they might be a good conversationalist and blah blah blah, and then you meet up and then it's like, it's just not. You know what I mean? It's like
that photo from 10 years ago. That photo
smells. There's like the physicality. There's like
I agree
and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
I agree,
mate. Online dating and like I don't know about like I've tried it a couple of times in my life, and it's like the amount of work that you have to go through, like just to like meet someone, you're far better off just walking down a street and starting to speak to strangers. Like really.
Well, a lot of my girlfriends do the online dating Tinder thing, and a lot of them have met blokes through it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really turned off. I've never done online dating, and it just turns me off. Like I'm just thinking, oh God, like just what they go through, and then to see the quality of the guy, it's like, oh Jesus, where'd you find him? But anyway, I'm a physical attraction woman. Like I like to see who I'm talking to, talk to them, and you know that's the affection or the attraction that I get. I agree, Bluey. But you know, the world is turning to online everything, unfortunately. It's
Yeah.
sad. Including smart money.
Serenity's in an intimate relationship with Hex.
So am I. It's my favorite thing to do every day, my Hex.
If you want to meet people, go and do workshops, you know, like in things that are fun and interesting. You'll meet people who have similar interests to you. It's like so much of a better way. Because also, like, there's so many people who I reckon do that online dating thing, and they're just trying to fulfill this need of having connection, and they don't want to actually meet in person. They just want to like email back and forth, and they just want to do blah 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 blah. And it's like, and you're gonna miss out on people as well.
It's a
Like-
big meat market, to be honest. That's how I see it from hearing friends' stories. It's a big meat market, and not always just on the guy sides, on both. Like, you can date Thursday, Friday, Saturday night and get sex from 3 different people if you want to get it. Like, you
Not
can
if
do
you're
it.
a guy, though. You reckon? I mean, maybe if you're a girl.
Yeah, I reckon you can do it if you're a guy. If you got the knack to do it.
But why do you want to do that anyway? Who would want to do that? That just sounds. I mean, maybe if I was on my 20s, I would want to do it.
Unrekt pirate.
Mate, I want to go around having sex with 3 different people in a night. It just sounds
But you
annoying.
can. I mean, not that I've done it. I don't online date, but I've heard stories that you can do it if you want to do that kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey Bluey, you got any strategies? You were saying before you're going to dollar cost average in a Pulse over the 37-day period. So 7 days for sacrifice and 30 days after that. Have you got any other, like, what's your strategy? What would you say is a good strategy to get in there?
For the sacrifice?
Yeah.
Oh, just wait for the details. That's what I'll just do. Just chill out, wait for the details, and it's probably going to be a matter of, you know, like dollar cost average, do it once a week for 4 weeks. I'd put it, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much holding Hex, and that's it. You know, like I've got another thing, but that was only because I was paid in that crypto, and then it was locked up for me, and that comes out in August, so I can't touch that yet. And yeah, pretty much I would just yeah, like if you do have a big Hex bag, then and you want to pump the price before you sacrifice it, whatever you do, like whatever coin you have, like swap it into Hex first and then sacrifice it. Like if you do it immediately, it's going to be the same as if you would have sacrificed it in whatever you swapped it from, less a few fees. And I mean, you should be holding Hex anyway. That's the thing that's going up, and like that, and that's what a lot of Hexicans are going to do. So that's why it's going up. It's a self-fulfilling thing, you know what I mean? And as people work out this is what's happening, it'll probably go up even more, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's so exciting.
Yeah. Okay, JFK's got an online tip here. Got an online dating tip. Meet for coffee, not dinner or an event. Then you can quickly escape if it's not warranted.
Hey, that goes both ways.
Mate, I reckon bugger the online. Just go and meet people.
No, I agree. Do online dating. It could be fun. They might meet the girl of their dreams, Bluey. You can't deny them that privilege.
Oh, I think it's a way of. I think it's a way of people trying to ease the process, and I think you should have full fear, and feel the fear of the process, and the reward will be far more.
But you know what? My girl's question after that is, Bluey. My girls will say, "Well, where do you meet people?" And I know that you got your acrobatics, you do like a lot of things. And my answer would be, you know, join a club or, you know, take up sport or something. But there's a lot of
social dancing. Every single town in the world, I guarantee you, they'll have social salsa dancing a number of times a week. If you don't want to do salsa, what about what's it? Swing dancing. Swing dancing is a brilliant way. And then once you get a bit good at it, now because swing dancing is with a partner, right? And you just learn all the steps and you get awkward at it at the start, and you know what I mean? But once you get good at it, when you travel, anywhere you go, you can go to a swing dancing event, and I'm guarantee you there'll be, if you're a guy who can dance, there will be loads of women who want to dance with you. And then that's just fun. And you don't, it's not, and that's you'll meet people that way. I know that with like acro yoga, like and contact improvisation, those kind of dance things I do, like there's people doing that all over the world, and you just, you know, like go and hang out in those communities and So I reckon physical stuff is really good to meet people, and learning something that you don't know yet, and because it's watching people be awkward is really beautiful. It's very endearing,
Mm.
you know.
But then you got like mothers who work full time and they got the housework, the shopping, and they still want to meet someone. So, after running all the kids around, they don't have that kind of time to just, go and take up sport or do things like that. I know myself because I'm a very busy person. I've always got something on. But I mean, not that I'm looking for anyone. I'm just shouting out there for, there's people.
You said you went out like the other night, and the last couple of nights you've been out. What do you do when you go out? You just go to clubs?
Well, I think Friday night we went to like the pub, which is in Mernda, which is about half an hour from here. We had dinner, a whole group of us. Then we went to watch the band, which wasn't that great, and met some other girlfriends. And then we went to another place, which is called Musicland. It's like an old school rock place, and we watched bands there. And then come home late. And then I went the same place last night with some other girlfriends, just danced and watched the bands. And yeah, it's really cool fun, to get out and
just go to watch a band and like, and I think that like, don't be afraid to talk to strangers.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
if you see someone cute, like
I had a 50-year-old lady try and pick me up last night.
There you go.
Yeah,
and that's a nice thing, isn't it?
Oh well, at least I know I still got it.
Yeah, totally. And flirt a bit without it. You don't have to have so much pressure. You don't have to be going out and have some sort of end goal.
Yeah.
Just go out and kind of, and I know it's hard when you're in that actual situation, in that social situation, but when you go through something and you're really awkward and you do it and you get past the fear, you find that it's actually not as bad as you thought it would be. But also you kind of just you find that you're not interested in them anyway. Like all of a sudden they're boring once you start talking to them. Or it just doesn't go down, the conversation doesn't go somewhere else or whatever,
That's what chemistry is,
Yeah, what's the worst thing that can happen? You have a boring conversation.
Yeah, well, that's right. But you know what? That what I'm talking about, physical attraction doesn't mean someone's face. It could be the way they walk, the way they talk, their conversation, their intellect. Like there's so many different things that you could be attracted to. It's not just tits, ass, and balls.
You've got lovely balls. Going up to someone, I bet you've got lovely balls. Probably not the best way to go. But it could be funny. That could be a very funny way to start a conversation by the same token.
But a lot of guys look for that, that's what they want.
Balls?
No, tits and ass.
They like balls on their women?
Tits and ass. Well, women look for the same thing. I know a lot of women that just, are after the hard one.
Oh, I'm finding it really hard to keep up with the conversations here. Everyone's, what's David gone? Getting... Okay, smashing... What do you say? Getting rickety wrecked and smashing.
Hey, David. Who were you smashing in college, David? Come clean, bro. Now you're in the conversation.
Getting rickety wrecked? You mean getting drunk? It's extreme. Some are interesting, some are boring. And don't even maybe have expectations about what's going to happen in the conversation, aside from you are going to connect with another human being, and eventually you'll things will happen.
Yeah, but you know what, even crypto is a common interest. I've met a lot of women and men on here which I get along with really well, but I would say as far as dating concerned, I'm the same as you. I just I don't fall in love with anyone online. I'm I have to meet them in the meet to for that to happen. But I don't expect, love's hard to find. How many people do you love out of how many people in the world? Billions and billions.
Yeah, and also you don't, it's you go in and out of feelings as well. You can be with someone and you can love someone and hate their guts at the same time. That happens. Yeah. We humans have the capability to feel contradictory things at the same time. it kind of just depends where your awareness goes.
Mm.
And so, don't think that, yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Lady boys here in Thailand just grab you by the crotch if they're interested. Oh, well, that's clear.
Oh, well, if you're into it, that's easy done. You don't even have to converse.
Yeah, I once went, like years ago, I went to a party. This is in my 20s, and I fully dressed up as a woman for the party. And I was astounded at how many guys were grabbing my ass. And I remember one guy, he just like came up and just grabbed my balls and my testicles, like, and it was just like, it was pretty I don't know. They felt pretty free to do that for some reason because I was
You
dressed.
probably got a nice bum, Bluey. That's probably
I
why
made a good
you
chick.
grabbed it.
Yeah, back then I had pretty sexy legs.
Yeah.
They're a
Well,
bit
you're an
muscular now.
acrobat. If
Pardon?
you're an acrobat, you got to have a nice firm ass on you, nice legs on you. You would have.
That was before I was an acrobat. You get it gets a bit chunked up if you do that acrobatics and stuff. But we can all like compare legs in on the beach in Stradbroke Island. Oh, I can't. I'm trying to like talk and like put all these bloody. There's some really good.
So, hey, Bluey, why? I know you're ready. Keep going what you're doing, but I want to ask a question when you get back to it. Why is Hex dipping? Can we have your thoughts on it?
Oh, I think people are expecting Richard to make the announcement, and then it didn't come. Like, because he said I'd like to do it in a week, which all it meant was he'd like to do it in a week.
Yeah.
It didn't mean he was going to do it in a week.
Yeah.
But a lot of people went, right, it's a week, and then they get to that day and it's not happening, and maybe they think, oh, it could be long time, it could be forever, and it might not happen, and what's happening is a delay and blah blah blah, and then other people are thinking, oh, those people are going to think that, so I better quickly sell because other people are going to sell, and then it just kind of goes down. But we saw it kind of dip down and then go back up. I don't know, what's it now?
Has anyone been tracking the wallet whales? Those big dumping whales?
I haven't, no.
Anyone in chat know about anyone who's dumping? I saw someone post on Twitter someone's out, which one of the whales is out of Hex, which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big dump, like over the last, we're still at 5 cents or something. Let me have a look. But yeah, it'd be nice to know why. I mean, gas fees are a problem, an ongoing problem. We're at 5.1.
Okay, so it's gone. So it's gone up from that dip, and it's just hanging out there. It's just a weekend, and people are chilling out. This would be great if it just stayed this way at this price the whole week for me, because I've just got to onboard a whole lot of people this week, and hopefully they'll get it at a good price. And once I get everyone who I've had to get on, then you can go. I mean, as soon as he announces, it's going to start pumping again.
Hey, well, Bit STR 3am says the big whale ran out, so he's zeroed out on Hex. That's really good. And Dave Feeder says he's not been whale watching, but yeah,
he has. No, he's not. Right? Yeah. Yeah. What's tomorrow? Oh, Monday. So the bank's open and we can watch a pump. Yeah. I mean, I've noticed on Monday morning in America is normally a bit of a pump time. That's just my anecdotal evidence, but. Bruise bum. Right, so this is degenerated. People really.
Louis, people love to talk sex and about our experiences. I think it's a really good subject. Like being myself, like last night, who would have thought I've gone to like a club and then I've got like a 50-year-old lady like want to pounce on me, like of all people,
Was she being pushy or was she being subtle?
No, like first of all, I was just sitting down like outside, and I just, her and her friends there, and she just introduced herself, and I meet her and all the girlfriends, and then I go off and dance, and I'm walking past her, and she comes up and she hugs me, and she goes, "Are you single?" And I go, why? And she goes, "Oh, because."
Oh, you didn't answer. You said why?
I said, she goes, "Oh, oh, I was going to try and pick you up tonight. And I said, oh, where are you? And I just laughed and like quickly walked away. But yeah, I was just like really like taken back. I thought, what's she want?
Well, that's direct. Do you reckon she was drunk, or do you reckon she was just brave,
She would have had to have been drunk.
drunk
really.
and brave?
Yeah, but I think just because I was friendly and chat to her, she must have thought, oh, this person's nice, but I'm going in for the kill. But yeah, it was unexpected.
Oh, she asked, you answered. That's fair
right.
play, isn't it?
That's right.
You know, that's a bit of a compliment. You can take that little compliment.
Yeah, look, it doesn't bother me. I mean, you know, being a woman, I'm sure a lot of women, you know, when they go out, you got to expect, you know, usually someone's going to try and get in your pants, but you know, you don't let that stop you. You just handle the situation.
Years ago, I was in this party. I used to live in New York, and I was in this party in Brooklyn, this real underground party, and I'm not homosexual, but like we were dancing and stuff like that. And there was this man, and he just looked straight at me, and he just held my gaze, and he just walked straight up to me, and he just kind of grabbed me by the shirt,
Yeah.
and just pulled me into him, and like and kissed me.
Oh,
And the whole time, I let him, because it was so direct.
did you enjoy
You know
it?
what I mean? And pardon?
Did you enjoy it? You enjoy that approach? Come here, boy.
I enjoyed the directness. Yeah, I fully enjoyed the directness.
Oh, that's nice. I'm happy
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't enjoy the kiss so much. I'm I'm not into guys or whatever. It's just like this rough, weird mouth or whatever. But like, yeah, no, I enjoyed the kind of like, because often it's like, it's been about me kind of like, seducing someone, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it was really nice, like just being the passive recipient and just going along with whatever.
He
that person
he
did.
was being dominant. And
Yeah, totally being dominant. Yeah, and I was very aware of it at the time, and I could have pushed, but I was like, no, I'll give it this go, see what happens.
well, it can be really sexy, you know. Can
Yeah.
be. Well, look at Mr. Grey. He's very dominant, you
Who?
know. Didn't you watch the movie? What's the movie called? Mr. Grey. You know, that rich guy, young girl. What's the name of the movie?
Oh, Richard Gere, Pretty Woman.
No, it's another movie. He's this loaded dude, and he's into bondage and meets this young intern and takes her home and spanks her silly and fucks her crazy. And yeah, but I forget the name. It was a big movie, but I got a horrible memory. That's right. Sapper, 50 Shades of Grey. So Mr.
Oh yeah, no, I never read it or anything. Yeah, it was a book, wasn't it? Really famous.
The movie, and there's two, but
Yeah.
Mr. Grey was into all that kind of shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hung out in a few kind of like, I hung out in a few communities in Berlin and Barcelona and Copenhagen and stuff like that. Done a few festivals. I actually used to teach workshops at a few festivals. Me and a friend of mine, we used to teach sexabatics, where it was like acro yoga, like
Nice.
kind of like how to have a threesome. So we'd get people. It was a group situation, and we'd get people to undress each other, and then just do these basic acro yoga poses. But instead of a spotter, it'd be like the kinky spotter, and it was just like
Nice.
getting people to connect.
Yeah, and
Yeah, totally. Everyone, there's a lot of things out there in the world to explore. A lot of interesting communities, a lot of interesting festivals to go to. It's a big wide world, and
yeah,
check it all out for sure. Why not? You only live once.
that's
Good
right.
experience. Yeah. Do you like a bit of slap and tickle, Sammy?
For myself, yeah. I mean, I like a man that knows what he's doing, can take charge, a man's man. But yeah, like I've got girlfriends who like getting strangled and all that kind of thing. But I mean, it's not for me. But some women like it. It's strange. I mean, I respect other people's fetishes, but I'm more of I like a man, a real man who takes charge. But I'm not into like getting spanked or things like that. I mean, it does nothing for me.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you like getting spanked, Bluey?
Not really. I mean, I'm a very sensual person. I like sensuality. I like softness, and um, and one thing I did find was that, like, I can give very strong massage, like very, very strong to the point of pain. And if a girl really enjoys that, like it's more if I'm doing something and and that person is really enjoying it, then that enjoyment turns me on more than anything else. So there was in those communities and stuff like that. If I was like giving pain to someone and they would enjoy it, that I enjoyed that for sure. But I guess I'm pretty vanilla in my what I like when it comes down
Yeah.
to it. Like I'm experimental. Like I've tried things. I'm experimental, but in the end, I'm pretty vanilla. Like I've just got kind of like pretty like I just like intimacy and sensuality.
Like
In
not like wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
oh
You
no 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 I in fact I rarely ejaculate nowadays at all. Like
really?
probably count how many times a year. Yeah.
Bull. So what? So what? Like, is that with a partner? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
not Miss Barmer, Miss Barmer and her 5 daughters.
Well, I'm 50, and I'm getting older, and I think it's like when if I ejaculate, I lose a lot of energy. Like I
Yeah,
feel depleted, yeah, and I just feel a lot more strength when I don't,
yeah,
and and then also sexuality as I got older became it just became a bit different. It didn't wasn't towards any kind of end goal or whatever, or it was just more of an experience that you can I don't know
yeah.
yeah.
But would you like to be able to come more often? I mean, I know it's energy. There could
I
be
can if I want to. I choose
yeah,
not to. Yeah, like I just prefer to not.
yeah,
Basically,
fair enough. See,
yeah.
I'm the opposite. The more, the better for me. But and the slower, the better. You can't be a 2-minute noodle, man. You, you gotta have a bit of stamina. Do you see what Sapper wrote? He says, "Vanilla ? You sound like licorice all sorts from where I'm sitting."
It's all relative, isn't it? Eh? Like we've all have our experiences. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, what is vanilla anyway? You know, like who knows what normal is anyway? You know, everyone's so secretive about their sex lives, and you know, there's so much. We don't really talk about it much, do we?
We don't, but it feels nice to talk about it, like, and
Yeah.
share experiences. And
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I'd say I'm very vanilla compared to what I was, but I wouldn't even go into my pre-love life because you probably wouldn't have me on the show again. But there's a lot of people who love it.
No, I want to know, what was your pre-love life?
Before I was partnered, it was very, very colourful, and I started very young. So I've had a lot of, we should say, friends, and done a lot of different things. But I enjoy that. I enjoy meeting people, and I enjoy that physical contact. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone likes sex. They just don't want to talk about it. And sometimes they like more than sex. They like romance and all that goes with it.
Yeah, totally. Everyone's different, and everyone's different at different times as well. And often we don't know what we like until you actually try it. Like, how can you know? How can you know you like something or don't like it unless you try it?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so true. Anyway, so what's going on? We're going to have a Richard Hart pump this week. When he streams, hopefully he does it on our Australia time during the day, so I can sit there and listen to him while I'm at work. So we might get a big Richard Hart pump, like he usually does.
You love a big Richard Hart pump, wouldn't you?
I do. I love it.
Okay, well, I think we've had a pretty good chat. It's about coming up to, we've got 5 minutes left for the 2-hour mark. I might just end with a little video, unless there's anything else you want. We've kind of gone to many places as our streams do.
Nice to see everybody. Thanks for stopping by and all your comments. Believe me, I love reading them all, and it's nice to see sometimes off-topic stuff. And congrats to all you guys, Hexicans. I know you must be really like kicking it, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon on Twitter and hanging out with you.
Yeah, and yes, thanks to everyone for being here. I'm not going to list everyone because it's going to take me too long. Thanks, Sammy. Thanks heaps for coming on. Thanks to T-Bird and unrekt at the beach. And we'll see you guys next week. We'll do another stream and probably and hopefully we'll have a bit more news about Pulse by then. And if not, who gives a shit? Righty, I see you guys.
See ya. See ya.
This is just a la JFK for the end.